Welcome back to the Pop of the Man podcast. I'm your host, Jay. With me today, I have my always loyal co-host, Cord. What's up, Cord?
How you been? How you been? Chaos is a ladder, and I did not make that. Contrary to beliefs.
we
Also, Gucci Man in the building. Keep that 40 on me like I'm Zubak, but I did make that.
also join us was somebody said that you didn't make that, Cord. They say you stole it from them. Anyway, also joining us today, we have the number one Suns fan in the nation. We got Cam. What's up, Cam?
And you already know what it is. Suns Nation, Brooklyn Nets Nation. But hey, today's interesting fact of the day is in the history of the NBA, there have been 3 players to score 70 points and lose in a game. One is Devin Booker. Do you guys know the other 2?
Score 70 and lose?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Wilt Chamberlain.
Wood is one. He did it 3 times. Amazingly. That's crazy.
Man, that's crazy. So even Wilt even got some of the worst stats of all time.
Yep. The Devin Booker is one. Wood is the last one. Y'all probably not gonna guess the other one.
I'm not, because it's only like 5 people that's ever scored more than 70. Booker,
Yep.
Kobe, Wilt. I don't know who the other person is.
The other person that did is David Thompson.
Who?
David Thompson of the Denver Nuggets in 1978.
Oh, is that Fat Levert Denver Nuggets that was scoring like 130 points every game?
I think so. Yeah, I think
Probably.
he was on their team.
Okay, that makes sense. Them boys right there are different. Also joining us today, we have my main man, DeLon. What's up, DeLon?
Assalamu alaikum, Brother Jordan, Minnesota Miracle. Shout out to, once again, LaMelo Ball. He forced Michael Jordan to finally give positive words towards a black man for once. Man, it's been a minute. It's been a minute. Shout out to LaMelo Ball.
And the funny thing is he said he's exceeding our expectations. So I'm like, what were you expecting, MJ? Like
the number 3 pick, nigga. What did you think was gonna happen?
Hey man, in Jordan defense, all his lottery picks have been terrible except for Kimball.
that's true. He said, man, I guess he said, as long as you ain't terrible, I guess I guess we win. As long as you're average, that's technically doing better than most of my picks. And also, Jacquez will be joining us when he arrives at home. He is en route there now, but he'll join up with us later. So what we do. We give you our takes on basketball, music, everything in between. This is episode 128 of the Pop of the Man podcast. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. If you're streaming this, make sure you tell a friend. Make sure you give us 5 stars, 10 stars, whatever the rating system is. Follow us on Twitter at Podcast Demand. And yeah, so album club episode coming up soon. Gonna release it later this month. It's going to be It Was Written episode where we sit down and we talk about Nas's second album. So make sure you stay tuned for that. It will be exclusively on YouTube. So if you don't follow us on YouTube, go subscribe to us on YouTube. All right. So starting off the show, we've been in a music famine dating back to probably March of last year, where Corona hit and it pretty much shut down all festivals. It shut down all concerts. The bigger name artists, the A-list artists, have been a lot more stringent with their music, haven't been really wanting to release anything. And so there's been music that came out, but it hasn't been anything that really touched me. Also, it hasn't been anything that was like, oh, this is a big enough artist to discuss on the podcast. So with that being said, Drake, who we were supposed to get an album from in January, but he tore his ACL. Now he's recovering, and I think he's going to be at full strength when he releases his album, I guess. Instead of giving us the album, he gave us a 3-song EP, a sequel to Scary Hours 2. And the 3 songs he gave us had Twitter talking up a storm about Drake possibly being the greatest, not just the greatest artist of all time, but the greatest person of all time.
And politician, don't forget that.
Yeah, better
What's this leading to, Jordan? What's this leading to? I feel a little I feel like this is going in a direction I wouldn't like.
It's not an ambush.
It's not an ambush. That one tweet was just hilarious. Okay, just for reference, someone on Twitter said that Drake is a GOAT, and I'm telling you, like, he's the GOAT of GOATs, like politics, rap. I think it gave like 3 other categories. He's
probably sports.
He said Drake is the greatest GOAT of any category. Like, he's better than the GOAT of like basketball, the GOAT in politics, whoever the GOAT is in this. Drake is the best. He's better than even those people in their respective fields. I don't agree with that at all. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the music, guys. how'd y'all feel about Scary Hours 2? Just to make sure we start on a positive note, Delon, you go first.
Okay, Delon. Okay, before you go, Delon, question. Are they saying that Drake is better at music than those people are at what they do? Or
Yes.
that he's that's what they're saying.
Yes, they're saying
okay.
they're saying that Drake is so clear of his competition that he is a better GOAT in his respective field than like for instance, MJ is the GOAT in basketball, Drake is a greater GOAT in his sport. I mean he's more dominant. Drake is more dominant in music.
Okay, dominance is what
he's more dominant in music than any other person. Whoever the number one is in any other category is dominating their field.
Gotcha. Okay, sorry, I just was confused. But go ahead.
Yeah, it was a very silly tweet. So, but anyway,
there'd be a conversation if Kendrick was omitted for the last 10 years. But we're gonna move on.
For J. Cole.
Anyway, we're gonna move on.
Who?
Easy, Jermaine Cole. Scary Hours 2. I liked all the songs. I didn't think usually when Drake has a Scary Hours type deal, I'm cool on one. I love the other one, but the one that I liked ended up becoming the single that blows up. I think all of it. I think Drake's moving to a spot where he's not necessarily trying to act as a character anymore. And he's kind of just rapping as himself. And it's kind of refreshing. And all these little the album delays are turning into some good music. So I'm just happy that we're getting good music from Drake. Of course, Lemon Pepper Freestyle was Lemon Pepper Freestyle, where Ross and Drake don't miss on the track. But that first track that got the video, what was that called? Say what?
What's next?
What's next?
Hopefully, an album.
Hope to 6 more months, Cam. Probably like 6 more months. Hey, but I love that single. That had me. I was going to Sam's Club, playing that in the car, man. It was a good time. I ain't gonna lie to you.
No, wait. Realistically, what's the timeline for ACL tear recovery? Remind me.
It's like 9 months, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a minute for hoopers.
Okay. Well, he ain't.
Wait, did Drake really tear his ACL?
Yeah,
that really happened?
Yes.
When was it?
Like December, end of December.
Ago.
I don't know if I think so. The album was originally supposed to come out in September, but then it got pushed back to January.
Yeah.
I think it may have happened sometime around then, and I think the surgery happened in December.
Okay. I didn't know that happened.
He had posted like a video on like Instagram of like he had like a basketball championship at his house, and it had to been like November. I think that's why I think it was in December because he was playing basketball like November, October, I think.
I don't think it's a torn ACL though. I think it's something else.
Is it an Achilles? I don't know.
It can't be Achilles. It's some kind of knee injury. I'm pretty sure if I recall right. But I just know they said that he was hurt, and so it was like, yeah, I can't, release the album because I'm hurt. So I was sitting like I thought about like, okay, he'll be better in like a month. But I said, wait a minute, no, that's not the real timeline for that injury like that
at all.
Yeah. I wasn't really thinking straight when you said that. I'm like, okay, I mean, we'll get it in February, and the February came and went. I'm like, oh wait, no, that's all right. That's probably a little bit longer, but yeah, I thought that I usually only enjoy one song out of these deals. For granted, it's usually only 2 songs. It's always the one song where y'all guys, I can rap. You get that song from Drake, and then it's the song where it's like, that's right, guys, I can rap. I like doing this shit instead. And then he on here singing, or he's like on here whistling or some shit on the song. And I'm like, okay, if that's what everybody else like, I guess. But on this, he actually rapped on all 3 songs. What next had a very interesting beat. It made me think of like the opening to a video game, and he was really bouncy. He sounded like
it felt like a Cardi beat.
It did. It actually did sound like something. It did. It almost sounded like that beat that everybody make fun of, except it's listenable. Drake sounded like he was having fun on the song. No corny lines or corny bar from Detected from Me. What Wants and Needs was a solid Drake verse, one to write home about, and then Lil Baby redeemed the whole song and killed and ripped it to shreds. And Lemon Pepper Freestyle was your stereotypical Ross and Drake collab song where Ross give you a verse that you probably won't remember after hearing Drake's verse. And that was the case for me because I heard it wasn't even like Ross had a bad verse. It just like he rapped for like 40 seconds and then
it was short.
And then Drake rapped for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, then Drake rapped for 5 minutes, and it was 5 whole minutes of good rapping for Drake. No corny shit. And I gotta say that because for me, a lot of times Drake's problem is he falls in the pitfalls of doing like those corny punchlines. But he seems like he's gotten away from that, especially after listening to BB Keith freestyle. Like he's rapping for 5 minutes nonstop, just gloating, and it's not even just like ain't even just a bunch of crazy bars. It's just like 5 minutes of just gloating, just doing luxury rap at a level above what Ross was doing at the beginning of the song. I was like, this is fantastic. I love when a rapper talk they shit. Cam, how did you feel about the 3 songs? What was your favorite one? I'm assuming.
Hey man, my boy Drake said by the time I drop him off for lunch, by the time I pick him up for recess, I already made another meal. You can't. That's hard, bro. Like this man is. I don't know. It's getting to the point where it's not even really fair anymore. My boys ain't really dropping no music. We ain't getting nothing from the other top tier artists in the game. Pooh Shiesty was number 1 on the charts for 2 weeks. What's going on? But
salute him.
But anyway, I really enjoyed the EP. I would say that What's Next really wasn't my cup of tea. Like y'all said, what Wants and Need, Lil Baby ripped it. I don't know why he came in at the beginning rapping like G Herbo. I don't know what that's about. Like literally not on beat at all.
That threw me off.
I liked
it.
Cause I was listening to the song and I had heard that the song was really good from my friend. So I go in with high expectations, and he came in, yeah, and I'm like, Drake, just get on beat. And then he gets on beat, and I'm like, okay, this is more like it. And then Lil Baby comes in, and I'm like, oh, this is what I talk about. But then the album culminates and ends with my favorite song, Lemon Pepper Freestyle. You can't. Those type of songs are my favorite Drake songs. Any album, if you ask me my favorite Drake song on any album, it's gonna be the song that's like that, or the songs that are like that. Like I don't know. Anytime you get Drake on a beat, and typically there's like a woman singing in the background. I don't know if this one had it or not, but just anytime that he's like really flowing, typically there's not really a chorus to it. Those are my favorite Drake songs. So yeah, Lemon Pepper Freestyle was my favorite, and I thought all in all it was good. I just think it gives us something to listen to now that we don't really have anything. I always think about that RDC World video when they found out, like he was like when you find out J. Cole dropping, and it's like, and he didn't believe it because he had been listening to, like, he had been hanging out with thugs and stuff like that. I don't know if y'all know the video I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But anyway, I always think about that video whenever like somebody like J. Cole or Drake drops, because like I be listening to music that I really don't like that just because it ain't nothing else dropping. And then I go back and like listen to old school music just because that's better than what's dropping now. But yeah, I mean, definitely, we, like you said, we were starving. So Drake gave us what we were looking for.
Yeah, us brothers been starving. Corey, how'd you feel about Scary Hours 2?
Hey man, look, I'm gonna let y'all know I liked it, and I think I don't think I told you, but I told Alon I finally listened to Scary Hours 1, and I really like this song with Fabio Foreign, but I hate the part with Fabio Foreign.
Darkling Dilatate?
He's all right.
You mean Darkling
Dilatate? Yeah, Darkling Dilatate. Wait, what's Scary Hours 1?
Scary Hours 1 had Diplomatic Immunity and God's Plan like 5 years ago.
Oh damn! Okay,
that's why I was very confused when you said that, Corey. But continue.
Well, I ain't heard that in a minute either. Well, okay, but I'm gonna say this, man. I really like What's Next. It was I almost like it was one of them songs that's really cool, but it shouldn't have been as long as it was. I'm gonna keep it a stack with you.
Nah, I agree. Should have been one verse.
It drug on. Then it's on with Lil Baby when he was rapping off beat. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I was about to turn it off. And then when he started rapping normally, I said, there we go, Drake. But my God, Lil Baby. That man different. I'm gonna say that he one of them rappers, like, I don't listen to him all the time, but when I listen to him, he don't never disappoint me. Jesus Christ, that nigga different. And and Lemon Pepper Freestyle, salute to Ross. That verse should have been longer, but Drake, I don't say this often. Drake one of the best, man. When he really wants to, when he really take that time, put that pen to that paper, it ain't a lot of people better than him. And to Morris, if you listening, don't clip this. But I'm ready for the album. I'm really ready for the album. I ain't gonna hold you.
Core just complimented 3 Drake songs in succession, and then said he's excited for a Drake album.
Wait a minute, I gotta unmute. I can't believe my ears, dog. I gotta unmute. I can't believe what I just heard. Corey said he ready for a Drake album. He loved 3 Drake songs. Oh my God, you just made my day, Corey. I'm smiling, boy.
I'm not gonna lie, man.
He was the best.
He one of the best.
Hell might freeze over, to be real with you, man.
Man, I ain't gonna lie. I'm waiting for the lightning to come hit me right now.
So
Oh,
hey, Jordan, that was the reason we had that ice storm in the South Court.
Oh man, they knew that was coming. That is crazy.
So this is a rarity where all of us, because you agree that a Drake song was actually very good. Like I said, I thought he did a great job with all three songs. Am I excited for the album? Yeah, I'm excited to see what he's gonna do. Cause like I said, usually he tried to cater to both sides. Here, he just made songs I feel like he wanted to make, and he just did what he wanted to do on the songs, and they turned to be great, and that's what I want from Drake. And like DeLon said, I feel like you feel like he was being less of a character and being more so himself in these songs than he has been. And I agree. And I think that's all that's really what I've been wanting from Drake. I've been wanting Drake. I don't want Teen Drake. I don't want none of that shit. I want the guy born and raised around.
You don't want Abu Rizzuto?
No, I don't want
the
none
Canadian
of that.
mob boss.
Nah, I don't want Drake rapping about ops and a rap and in Arabic. I don't want none of that.
I ain't gonna lie.
Remember that song?
I like the international flow.
United Arab Emirates Drake. I remember. What an era. Terrible era, but it was an era.
It's getting. We have gone 12 months since the release of Dark Lane demo tapes, and I think this is the longest stretch of Drake that we've had to where there's not a massive amount of hate from one side. And I think it's strange. This is the most conclusive Drake we've had over this long of a stretch since like rookie year Drake.
I agree.
Viral movie.
But I will say, this ain't really of really down playing Lemon Pepper freestyle, but more so just talking about how great the other song was. I think his rapping / verse on BB King freestyle is better than Lemon Pepper freestyle. After hearing this, it made me want to go back and revisit that song. I was like, my God, Drake is snapping on snapping the entire song. And Wayne went off too. That was a great verse from both.
Hey man, why Ross keep sending Drake these super short verses? This is not the first, second, or third time on a Drake and Ross collab where Ross gives good 8 bars and then Drake goes off for 50. And I don't think it has to be like that. I think he's choosing to be like that. And just like one of the best songs in creation, Devil in a New Dress, which is probably my favorite Ross verse of all time. It's not the longest verse when Kanye is going stupid on it. Is Ross afraid of a little competition?
I won't say afraid for the fact that
I think he's chilling.
I think he just be chilling. I think he knows this is Drake's song and he know what Drake gonna do. So he's like, I'm gonna let Drake have it. Because if he was scared of competition, he would willingly send these verses that people just blatantly skip his verse or just blatantly like, oh yeah, Ross was on that song. Like he ain't helping himself by just sending 8 bars.
I don't know, but he's the master of the 8 bars though. That man, he will say something incredibly impactful and then just leave. It's like he puts up like a 20-point first quarter and then just
Checks out the game.
checks out.
He don't look for a shot no more.
Yeah.
Scored 16 the first quarter in the game with 18. That's what Rick Ross be doing.
In a PG bag, you hate to see it.
Now you said it twice, Corey. Relax.
Hey, man, it had to be said.
Nah, PG legit.
But that's conversation for another day.
Yeah. So
we still love you, PG. You gonna figure it out.
We move it on to the next topic. It is All-Star Weekend. It's time to submit we're at the halfway mark. Cam is almost in tears. Let y'all know Devin Booker became an All-Star replacement just to get replaced by Mike Conley, who will be his first All-Star appearance ever.
Interesting. To get back to a comment on that, my fun fact of the day was going to be who was the oldest ever first-time All-Star. And I figured it would be Mike Conley, but I don't really know. And I don't know. But I hadn't looked at, I tried to find the information. That was extremely hard to find. But back to you. So it may be our fact next week. Just let me all know.
That would be interesting. Who was the oldest first-time All-Star? I mean,
if you know the answer, please answer them on our Twitter without Googling.
All right. So let's talk about the 3-point skills. We're going to talk about each of the skill competitions. Then we'll talk about predictions for the All-Star MVP. And then we'll talk about Yeah, we'll talk about those. We'll talk about those 4 things. Who we think gonna win each competition. So 3-point competition. I might be wrong, but I'm not used to seeing this much like talent. Like these players are like really really good basketball players, not just good shooters, but really good basketball players.
Well, so what they did with the 3-point shootout and the skills challenges, they chose players that were already in the game.
So I heard that, and then the skills challenge participants was released, and Robert Covington is in the skills challenge, and I'm so confused by that. He is the only non All-Star that's going to be participating in an All-Star event, and I don't know why. I don't know what the reason.
Why don't you be the one to win?
It would be hilarious. It would be hilarious. So, competing in the 3-point competition, we have Steph Curry, we have Jason Tatum, we have Donovan Mitchell, we have Zach LaVine, we have Devin Booker. Well, not Devin Booker anymore. I guess Mike Conley gonna replace him.
Yeah, Mike Conley's taking his spot for some fucking reason.
And Jaylen Brown. Guys, who do you think will win the 3-point competition?
Not Donovan Mitchell. I'm just gonna throw it out there.
Tell you who not gonna win it. If neither of them boys from Boston going, I can tell you who not gonna win it. Neither of the 2 from Boston. I'm willing to bet money on that.
I ain't gonna lie.
And we know you're a betting man, Jacquez. Curry just does not thrive in these kind of environments. Like All-Star game, he don't really hit a ridiculous amount of threes in All-Star game. He participated twice in the 3-point competition, hasn't he? And he lost both times. He lost once to Clay. And then
no. He lost in the city to Joe Harris. Remember that?
Yep. Definitely lost in Charlotte to Joe Harris.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what. I take that back. There's nobody here that I think is good enough. Zach LaVine's been burning the nets. I'm gonna take the safe. You know what? Take the safe pick is boring. So I'm gonna go with Zach LaVine. That's who I'm hitching my wagon to.
Yeah,
man, I would love to see Zach LaVine get a dunk contest win and a 3-point shootout win.
The players.
With Zach LaVine, I'm also going to say I'm not happy that Devin Booker can't perform because he's injured. But it's probably good that Devin Booker can't perform because he has a strong history of like putting up 28 in the first round, like 12 in the second round. So, good for him to not be here this time.
Corey, who you got?
Hey man, I'm going Zach LaVine. I like Steph. I don't trust Steph. I like Donovan Mitchell. I don't know why he in the 3-point contest. No offense.
He ain't got nothing else to do.
They should have threw Ben Simmons in there just for kicks.
Yeah. Hey man, shout out to the. Can we just take a minute to talk about how the Jazz is getting like participant awards for all of these? And I really like the Utah Jazz. I really do. I like all of them. I like Mike Conley, Donovan Mitchell, and Gobert. But they really been going through it this year when it comes to the All-Star game.
So I guess it's important that we mention this, and I was going to mention it later on. But we did, the team, LeBron and KD picked their teammates for the All-Star game. They did that format again, and once it was aired, the 2 All-Stars from the Jazz, who have the best record in the league, were picked last. LeBron James goes on to mention and says that, look, they just got to understand, when you play, it's been like that forever. When you play video games, we didn't pick John Stockton and Karl Malone. We ain't never played those guys. So there's no disrespect to them. That's just how it is. I don't know how that makes them feel less disrespected. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I wouldn't hear that.
Bro, that was mad disrespectful. Niggas picked Sabonis before Donovan Mitchell, bro. They picked Vucevic.
Yeah, it is very disrespectful. Donovan Mitchell just got done getting fined, and Gutenberger just got fined from saying that they don't think the refs respect them, and that they don't be calling games fair when teams play them. It has to feel terrible to see your peers think of you as a joke as well. They're not even the guys you play against. You're beating, and they're like, nah, we don't really believe y'all guys are real all-stars. Y'all are the 2 worst all-stars here. We don't care what your team is accomplishing. And I think that's just sad, honestly. And I think it's very telling that the teams in the league, or at least LeBron and KD, do not fear the Utah Jazz. Guys, how do y'all...
Bro, they were laughing, fam.
I would feel sorry for them, but same reason I don't feel sorry for Celtics fans. When you're racist, that's what happens. So,
okay, yeah, that's fair. You know what? That's a good point.
But them 2 not racist, man. Like,
it's a franchise though.
And also Gobert shut down the league too. So
He
Yeah, that's
created
true.
the coronavirus.
That's true.
Hey Jordan, think about it this way, Jordan. Then the Clippers player had to deal with that hate for Donald Sterling. It is what it is. Charge it
Yep.
to the game.
Charge it to the game. But it's also funny because LeBron is so petty. He said that I need size, and he chose a player that was smaller than Rudy Gobert for his team.
Man, I ain't
Hey,
gonna lie,
Rock,
man.
talk about-
But he is not
I
no
don't
rim
blame-
protector like that.
I don't blame him, man. Rudy Gobert the night before had just got shat all over by Joel Embiid. I do not
Yeah,
blame
facts.
LeBron at all.
That-
Literally the night
over.
before.
Hey,
Man, that's what I was about to say, man. I don't
He
blame
put 20
LeBron.
and a half on
I
him.
ain't
20
gonna.
and a half on him.
If I'm LeBron and I see, if I'm anyone, if I don't have to be drafted, if I'm playing 2K and I got a fantasy league and I see not Gobert, if I see Gobert and Vucevic on the board, or who is it? Was it Sabonis or was it Vucevic? It doesn't really matter.
It was a bonus.
Either one. If I see either of them on the board and Gobert, I'm taking the other nigga because they like I don't know, bro.
Hey, I'm gonna keep it real with you. I definitely pick Gobert as like my max contract player in one of my leagues, and I accomplish nothing. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
I remember that.
Hey, bro, I ain't go by Russell Westbrook. I was suffering.
That sound like a horror movie.
Rudy Gobert. Westbrook on the same team.
You know how this when you join the league late and you just pick a random team and hope for the best. The worst happens.
That's tough that they gave that to you, my brother.
Yeah.
But like on a realistic note, the Jazz, they have to understand if they want that top position that they have seen to find themselves in, they have to understand that niggas aren't really gonna be fucking with them like that.
Okay.
They are officially the villains in some eyes and the heroes in some other eyes, and niggas just don't want to fuck with you. And that just
also-
is everybody go through it.
Also, they taking the hate off the Clippers, so I salute them for that.
Big old
Yeah.
facts. Ain't nobody says
I
shit about
salute
us
them for that.
being the fourth seed, West. Ain't nobody breathe a word about it. I'm so happy. Mostly because the Laker fans are third seed. And I think that's why they ain't talking crazy because they know they're not that far. They're not that far ahead of us. But moving on to the next topic. No, not the next topic, just the next category. The slam dunk competition is looking mighty slim. There's only 3 people participating. It is Cassius Stanley from the Indiana Pacers. It is Obi Toppin from the New York Knicks. And then there's Fernie Simmons from the Trailblazers. Guys, who do you pick for this category?
I ain't even gonna lie, bro. I didn't even know Cassius Stanley was in the NBA. Like I remember seeing like his high school highlights, and I was like, man, this nigga got bunnies, like he can jump. And then like I looked up and he was in dunk contest, and I was like, oh snap, they finally doing the thing where they get people like who aren't in the NBA to do it. Great.
Oh,
But then I saw the other NBA players, and I was like, oh snap, he plays in the NBA? So I'm gonna take him. I don't know why Obi Toppin is in there. I saw his dunk, and
Yeah.
he literally is just like he's not even tall, but that's about it. He can
He
jump,
like-
but like he reminds me of like
like
DeAndre
6'8".
Jordan. Like
Yeah.
I don't see him going out there and doing anything spectacular. I think Cassius Stanley probably got the most bounce, and his dunks will look the best done. He has that perfect height range. I think so. I'm gonna go with Cassius Stanley.
Yeah, Obi Toppin got the stereotypical dunks you have when you first start 2K, like the two hand, not rim grazer, but like he can get way up, but it's always like a 2-handed dunk. And like I never
Yeah.
Oh, you
seen.
talking about the back scratcher packages?
Yeah. That's all he does. Cassius Stanley actually has 0 career dunks, is what I was informed of on Twitter.
Oh my god.
Yes. So yeah. Fernie Simmons, I've actually never seen him dunk. I feel like when I watched the Blazers play, I barely noticed him out there. Maybe he don't play those games. I don't know what. So, but going
I
by,
think he gonna win it though.
it'll be him or Cassius. I'm gonna go Cassius because just off of Cam's description of him. Lon, do you have a horse you want to hitch to?
This
You
nigga,
want to hitch your wagon to? Just no.
I'm all right.
this
All right.
nigga Cassius Stanley was the. This nigga
Who else
Cassius
said that
Stanley,
matter?
All-Star
was the
weekend.
he was the 54th pick in the draft, bro. What have we come to?
Yeah, man, DeLon said if the fans don't win, we all lose.
Anthony Simmons at the dunk contest. Pooh Shiesty running the Billboard charts. We are in the darkest timeline. Jesus.
This nigga.
Salute to Gucci though. He know how to pick his artists.
Post coronavirus lifestyle.
Cassius Stanley is on a 2-way contract, bro. This nigga not even in the NBA all the way.
They signed a nigga for the All-Star.
They signed him for the dunk contest.
They said we need representation.
Oh,
That's so
man.
crazy. That means if they didn't have a 2K contract system, there would literally be 2 players in the slam dunk competition. They invited other guys, but they turned it down. I guess it's because they don't want to waste their dunks on like a truncated version of the dunk competition. Like, I don't know why do that this year when it's not gonna be like a real competition when you could just do it next year and get like.
Because we overget those one.
So I have a question for y'all. Had they chosen the dunk contest players from the field of all-stars, just like they did 3-point shootout, who would y'all have liked to see? Personally, I would have liked to see LeBron, Zion, and I don't really, maybe Donovan Mitchell. But
Donovan Mitchell.
Who are the other guys that y'all would like to see other than that?
Donovan Mitchell.
Levine. I forgot Levine is off.
Levine, Donovan Mitchell. Pretty much Zion and LeBron. Like, there's no who are we forgetting? Somebody else that's crazy athletic. They could do a lot of dunks. We wouldn't care about seeing Giannis in the dunk competition. I ain't trying to. He another guy who just do stereotypical dunks.
Yeah,
I'm looking at everybody here. Yeah, that's it. It's just on 4. I'm the only 4 I would have cared to
Feel for them.
see.
That would be a great 4. I think that would make for a great dunk contest.
Oh yes, you got like LeBron, who's one of the most athletic athletes ever. You got Zion, who's looking like
versus Zion. I take that.
yeah. Just have them 2 go back to back. But like Zach LaVine, like I said, you can't just exclude him. And Donovan Mitchell does some great dunks too.
Has Zion not been in dunk contest? Was he not in last year?
No. He was hurt. He was hurt. Yeah, he was hurt almost all last year.
Okay.
And at this point, it's looking like he's probably going to be on that same trajectory as LeBron, that he probably isn't going to do it.
They said he was going to do it this year, but he withdrew. And I'm guessing because of how weak this competition going to be. Because I think it's not going to be the normal setup. And I think nobody really wanted to do this kind of dunk competition.
How many fans are there? Like, what's the capacity on the state? Like, what's the COVID capacity on the stadium?
I think they said like 7,500.
I ain't trying to. Come on now.
But like I said,
that dunk contest in a high school stadium or something for that. Get some noise.
Exactly. I think it's like I said, it's more so like they're not gonna do like the full 3 rounds like you normally do because they can't do that. Like this is supposed to be like the halftime show, from my understanding. I might be wrong, but I could have sworn to doing all this at halftime. So, I can understand why. That's why we don't have no real stars or no real good players in this dunk competition. Also, a lot of players were mad last year about the dunk competition. They were like, "Yeah, it's why we don't do this shit because we don't have good judges." I forgot who tweeted that. I forgot what player tweeted that. But last skills competition, the skills challenge. You got Robert Covington, Luka Doncic, Chris Paul, Nikola Vucevic, Domantas Sabonis, and Julius Randle. Guys, who you picking?
Hey man, it's between Rocco and Vucci, man. That's who I need to get it.
Rocco. Do people call him that?
Yeah.
That's disgusting, Court.
Hey man, you don't believe in Vucci, man? Come on now.
No, you know exactly who I don't believe in. But I like Chris Paul. My
don't
dark horse
is like
Randle.
You say your dark horse is too, Jacquez?
Julius Randle.
I'm taking Chris Paul. I joked with some people on Twitter. I said I feel like Chris Paul been training all week for this. So I feel like he gonna kill it. But he also, he always gets inside his head and he psychs himself out. So my other pick would probably be I think I'm gonna go with Jacquez. I think I'm gonna go my dark horse pick being Julius Randle. DeLon, who you taking?
Julius Randle.
Hey, salute to Julius Randle this year.
Nobody believes in Luka Doncic.
I was just about to say nobody picked.
I don't know.
It's still Black History Month for me.
One of the most skilled.
You put the words in my mouth, Court.
Y'all ain't picking Luka. Did I not hop on this podcast 3 weeks ago and say I'm calling him Fluka Doncic for the rest of the year? You know, props over here.
Okay. So last but not least, let's talk about the All-Star game. The 2 teams have been picked. Team LeBron, the starters are Bron, Giannis, Curry, Doncic, and Jokic. With reserves Brown, Paul George, Rudy Gobert, Damian Lillard, Chris Paul, Domantas Sabonis, Ben Simmons. And then Team Durant is Beal starting, Embiid starting, Kyrie starting, Kawhi starting. And And then there's the reserves are Mike Conley, Anthony Davis, James Harden, Levine, Donovan Mitchell, Julius Randle. Fucci Man, and Zion Williamson.
Gucci.
Guys, whose All-Star team do you think will win? And then who do you think wins All-Star MVP?
Before I answer, I'm gonna just say this. I think LeBron has mastered the art of doing this all-star drafting thing. And I think it may just be because he's done it for so long, but I think he's also just a very smart basketball mind and gonna make for a great GM or team owner one day. But so let me tell you what LeBron did. I think LeBron knew that Steph Curry was the obvious first pick. But he knew that KD was not gonna not get Kyrie with his first pick. So he was like, let me go with my second best pick. Let me go and get the second best player on the board, Giannis. I mean, he probably didn't want to get Kawhi because, crosstown rivalry type stuff. But then he was like, let me go get the second best player on the board. Let me go get Giannis. And then let him go get KD. And let him go get Kyrie because he's going to do that. And then I can come back and get Steph. And that way, I got at least three of the best players right there. So I mean, I would say LeBron is very crafty, but I mean, I'm gonna say LeBron's team wins. I think they're overall more talented and they have the more clutch players. And I think we're gonna end up seeing a lineup at the end of the game. Hopefully, Giannis isn't out there. I pray that he isn't because he's just useless in the clutch.
No, but what they're gonna do is because who coaching Team LeBron? Who coaching Team LeBron? Is it
It's Quinn Snyder. It's coaching Team LeBron.
Quinn Snyder gonna have him look. They're gonna have Giannis looking like Rudy Gobert. He gonna be rolling to the rim.
I don't know, man.
Not against Embiid.
Yeah, but I'm hoping we get.
That's why I picked to win MVP.
I'm hoping we get a lineup at the end of the game with Dame and CP3, LeBron, and maybe not Jokic. I don't know about Jokic, but some assortment of some very clutch players. And I think LeBron's team just has the overall better clutch players. So I'm gonna take Team LeBron, and I'm gonna take who's gonna win MVP. I don't know. Come back to me on that.
It's hard predicting that, baby.
I like Team LeBron. And I like Dame as MVP.
That's a good pick. That's a good
pick.
Just
because I can see it. Yeah, because
some type of hardware. Dame ain't got no hardware in the little hot second. So
bubble MVP.
Oh yeah, bubble MVP.
Yeah, they had an award for that.
Yeah, he actually did. It's like a trophy. It's like a trophy that's shaped like Mickey Mouse, literally.
Oh, that's fucking terrible.
Mickey Mouse MVP.
That shit don't count. Shit don't count.
Hey, they got
the Mickey.
The Mickey. They ain't got a statue of Mickey Mouse just in his house.
Oh my god.
Double entendre, Jordan.
Facts. I think I'm gonna pick Team Durant. I think I'm gonna pick Durant for the All-Star MVP. I think he's gonna go nuts. But actually, Durant isn't actually playing.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that.
I forgot about that. I was like, whoa.
I forgot Tatum's gonna be the starter for them in his place. I'm going to pick. I'm gonna pick Kyrie. Kyrie can go out there and put on a show.
Oh,
absolutely. Delon and Corey, either one of y'all have a pick?
Hey man,
Durant, Kyrie MVP. I feel like he cares the most out of anybody about frivolous things such as All-Star games. So he's definitely going to go into hard mode.
Well, so I was leaning towards Kawhi. I know Kawhi cares. Well, Kawhi usually cares about shit like this, but he acted like he didn't want to be there, so he probably ain't gonna try that as hard. What about you, Corey?
Man, I'm going Team Durant, Joel Embiid MVP. You see it. Him and Kyrie will go crazy. Kawhi go pull up in the clutch. They get Team Brown up out of here because that whole star five a bunch of passes.
And a bunch of non-defenders, except for well, I take that back. Giannis is a very good defender. LeBron's top 5 and on the defensive leader board.
And when Team Durant win, it's gonna be a victory for Black History Month and all our fallen brothers and sisters. You heard it here first.
Talk about it.
Before we leave,
yeah. I was just gonna say before we leave here, this is all of the hardware that Damian Lillard has right here.
It can't be the real trophy.
It is, Core. It is. That is real.
Yeah.
Wait, so all them people be calling LeBron and Mickey in the comment section?
Yes.
Yeah.
Bro, that don't even look like it look computer generated, bro.
I hope that ain't real. I hope that ain't real.
Because I remember when people first tweeted it on the TL.
Bro, let me Google this, bro. There's no way that's real.
Go Google it. I'm almost certain.
Man, like brown statue of Mickey Mouse.
Don't tell you what, black don't crack, man. They ain't look more
Yeah.
same.
Oh my god.
Just a little facial hair.
Just a little bit more facial hair. That's it.
I'm crying.
I'm surprised I had never seen that.
Yeah, I remember. I'm shocked with all the ones that singing this.
Right, because it'd be like anytime Woj would tweet, there'd just be in the comment section, Lil Mickey with his Lil Mickey championship. And I'd be like, what are they talking about?
No, Cord, that photo. Hold on, man.
Bro, that is fake, bro. That's fake.
Okay,
Dang.
That ain't real, bro.
I mean, somebody tweet that ain't ask is real.
I think it's just like a prestigious, like, a title. I don't think it's an actual award. Hell no.
Like a virtual award.
Yeah, bro. It's just like on some title shit. I don't think it's a real thing. That can't be real.
Golly, man.
We got
Hold on. Cole, with that being said, I'm trying my damn hard to send this picture to my self so I can share screen this picture. But talking about Lil Mickey, like that's probably my favorite meme in basketball Twitter right now. Usually I hate that annoying stuff that people post into like the comments like ratio or LeBron got carried and stuff like that. But this is the Lil Mickey mouse ring joke.
It never misses.
No, that shit is hilarious. And let me just this I'm about to post my favorite meme from there. Let's see where the zoom at. Okay, here we go.
Nah, the one when they be like they list down the
this shit right here is hilarious. This shit hilarious.
Carry by way.
Nah, they be like LeBron's feeling dangerous. 0 for 6 from 3. They had like fire emojis. 2 technical fouls. It'll just be a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, that was
yeah, the Nazi Mickey. I forgot about that one.
They said this is the word after LeBron won that ring.
Oh man.
Oh, but I laugh at this shit every time I see it. But all right,
that one. No, wait. What's the one when they got LeBron looking like the Chinese dictator? You know the one I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah. I forgot what they called it.
That one funny too.
It's not like China. I forgot what they called LeBron on that one. But oh man, the dictator. No.
King Dynasty.
The damn shame is the funniest version of LeBron's name I've ever heard, and I'm mad. I'm mad. I didn't hear that until 2021. I'm like, damn, that shit hilarious.
No, bro, they be just making up like they be like "La help."
Yeah, La help.
They be saying anything, bro. That shit be so funny.
I think. Oh man, I ain't gonna get on that on the podcast. I'm gonna actually do it after the podcast. So we'll go on to the next topic. We're gonna talk about some music for a little bit. Time for hit or miss, where we're gonna talk about some singles that came out this week. We'll talk about if we thought it was a hit or if it was a miss. We'll start out with "Leave the Door Open" by Anderson .Paak and Bruno Mars. They are releasing a collab album together called Silk Sonic. Guys, how'd y'all feel about "Leave the Door Open"?
Man, that's a hit out the park.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
That's a smash hit.
It's a goddamn hit. It's the best song to drop this weekend. Is why I'm gonna hang my hat
Easily.
Mega facts.
Easily the best song.
I like Anderson .Paak style. I thought to myself in my head, like on paper, this sounds like the perfect duo. But of course, not everything that sounds good in music actually manifests itself that way. But no, those two are like two peas in a pod on this song. Like it's perfect synergy between the two with Paak rapping and then Bruno Mars taking on the strong vocal lead with the singing, the instrumentation, like everything about this song is so perfect, down even to the music video. Like I'm excited for the album. I can't wait. It's oh my goodness, it's magical. It's just magical.
Yeah, it was in a bag. Definitely was in a bag.
Absolutely.
And like people been saying on Twitter, I'm gonna go and say this is gonna be album of the year when it comes out. I think it's gonna be that.
Grammys get ready. Bruno finna get another
look
one.
at Jordan already rigging the Popular Demand Awards. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Shit already a classic. Ain't even came out yet. Classic before the pre-order even hit. All right. So we'll go. Since that was a smash hit, everybody agreed. We'll talk about "Heart and Tongue" by Chance the Rapper. This is the second song he's done this year. Delon, we'll start with you. What do you think about the song? Hit or miss?
I think it is a hit in terms of quality and return to form. In regards of throwing Chance back in his spot that he once had, nah. but it definitely makes you happy about that upward trend he's been going on the last few months.
Corey, how'd
Facts.
you feel about this song?
And I'm glad he doing his job again. That makes me very happy. And I really enjoyed the song. And this and the one he dropped with Vic Mensa a couple of weeks ago, he's 2 for 2 right now. No more I Love My Wife records.
I like it. I think the big mistake pushed Chance in the right direction. He's realized where he made. I think he realized he was becoming too cartoony. I think he realized that, I can't just get on here and say whatever and get away with it. I think it was like, you know what, people love me for my writing. Let me focus. Let me get back into that bag. And I think that, there's a lot. I can hear the thought that he put into these 2 verses from the song with Vic Mensa and Wyclef and this song here. I'm like, he's actually putting time into his music, which, and it's showing. It's like, it's a hit for me.
When you said that so calmly, that I really thought that was the name of the album. It was such a straight face. I was like, wait a minute,
the big mistake. Hey, I bust out laughing.
He said it with like such a straight face. I had to think about it for a second. I was like, it was called The Big Day. I'm tripping.
No. That shit just came to me in a dream. I said, damn, that shit hilarious. I'm gonna say this on a podcast this weekend.
That's content right there.
Hey, that's dedication, folks. That man dreaming about the podcast, man. That's dedication.
Be like that. The last song we'll talk about is No Sense by Baby Keem. Guys, what did y'all think about the song? Hit or miss?
Big miss. Sorry.
Sorry. That's tough. I'm going to say miss. Simply because the other song, I forget the name of the song, with like, it's like the gray, he had like a gray panel of
Hooligans.
Yes, that's bang. That's a hit. This song, I thought it was cool, but I feel like just a cool song like that's gonna just be forgotten within like a week or 2. Like, I'm not gonna probably play it anymore. What about you, DeLon?
As a lead Baby Keem apologist, unfortunately, I will have to say it's a miss. Out of the 5 songs I like really love from Baby Keem, this doesn't even hold a candle to it. Which is, Baby Keem's the kind of music where it's literally hit or miss. It's not like Chance where it's like, it's for someone. This, like, it needs to be fantastic or it's going to be and that's what that was.
And that's my problem with Baby Keem too, with this music. Like, it's too hit or miss for me. It's like, it's too, I absolutely love this or I absolutely hate this. There's not enough in between for me to like actively listen to him all the time. But shout out to Baby Keem. Shout out to Silk Sonic. Shout out to Chance the Rapper. Making good music. This is probably like the first big music night we've had in a long time. And it felt good. It felt good to have so much different music to listen to. And now eagerly anticipating Silk Sonic album, eagerly anticipating Certified Lover Boy, eagerly anticipating to see whatever Chance is like ultimately working on. So now it's time for us to make our second half predictions. We're going to talk about every major category, and then I'm going to ask you guys who do you have for the finals matchup. So we'll do the easy ones right now. Coach of the year, who do you guys got closing out the year?
Snyder. If they continue to do what they're doing easily.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take Monty Williams. I think the Jazz go on a slide after. I think the Jazz go on a slide after All-Star break. And I think that rather than using this negative stuff that everybody's been giving them as motivation, they probably start losing. That's what I'm hoping for.
They splinter.
And then the Suns, they might end up finishing with the 1 seed, but the optics start to change a little bit. They start coming down to earth. The record isn't as much better as it is than everybody else, and it's a little bit closer. And then Suns end up somewhere up there in the top, and Monty Williams gets Coach of the Year. That's what I'm hoping for.
Shout out to the Suns for being the second seed. I can see this. There's definitely a case to be made there, but I think people they'll probably give a lot of that credit more so to Chris. That'll probably keep Monty from getting it. The safest pick, the easiest pick would probably be Quinn Snyder. People would probably say Doc Rivers second because the Sixers are finally finally came into themselves, even though it's more so the fact that they got actual shooters on their team and they have a bunch of people who can't shoot around Embiid, and the fact that Embiid is actually in shape and healthy. But I can see those two having the best case, Quinn Snyder and Doc Rivers.
But I mean that stuff could also be kind of attributed to the coach though, because I mean, like, well, not the shooters, but like Embiid actually getting in shape, and Doc Rivers could have been the guy that came to him and said, "Hey, I know who you can be. Get in shape, and we're gonna do this." So I mean, that could have something to do with it.
And Doc Rivers is, I could very well see Embiid saying that too. Like Doc Rivers is that kind of guy. Like he did that with DJ. He brought the best out of DJ. He's good at talking to players and saying, "Hey, this is what you should be doing. This is where you need to get at." And players usually do when he sets a bar for you. Players usually jump to get it. So maybe that's what was the turning point for Embiid to get around. In that case, coach. He is. In that case, then yeah, he deserves heavy consideration for that award. Rookie of the year. I think this is the landslide pick here.
Yeah. I think we can all agree Tyrese Halliburton is gonna win. Shout out to Halliburton. He'll be a distant second, but it's gonna be LaMelo.
LaMelo. Hey man, LaMelo, he got respect.
Oh, let's not disrespect Hoodie Melo. Come on now.
Who?
The legend.
Carmelo. Oh, you mean Carmelo? You meant Carmelo? My bad.
Yeah.
Wait, we call him Melo?
I thought LaMelo was younger. Melo.
Here we go, guys. We're gonna so let's talk about the next award.
Who's a Carmelo though?
Let's talk about the Defensive Player of the Year award. Who do you think finishes with that one? I think this is It's gonna probably be the hardest one.
Ben Simmons.
You giving it to Ben?
Ben.
I was thinking Embiid.
Hey, I'm rocking with Rudy. I'm rocking with Rudy, but after what Embiid, he can't get it. I'm sorry.
Man, I'm so sick of Rudy Gobert winning that damn award, bro.
I'm sorry. Hey, man. And y'all know I'm a Rudy Gobert apologist, but you got one job. That's to not let a center put 20 on you and a half. You let a center put 20 on you and a half. I'm sorry.
But the thing is, it's Embiid, man. Like that's a tough.
I feel it, but it's Embiid and Jokic.
It would make
and Jared Allen.
I ain't gonna stunt.
That's my problem.
I seen him give him 12 and 14.
And that's the thing. It would make more sense if the niggas were doing this every single night. If Joel Embiid was going out there getting 24, which he's capable of, but it's like niggas see Rudy Gobert and be like, "Oh yeah, I'm finna feast tonight."
Bro, LaMelo Ball, the rookie, bro. He drove directly at Rudy Gobert, finished with him with his left hand. Like nobody's.
This is my thing. Rudy is an elite rim protector, but I feel like when it comes to actual post scoring, like an actual one-on-one, you on the island, I gotta stop this man from scoring. That's what he look a little funny at.
Yeah, and that's why guys like Embiid and Jokic have so much success. But that's also why usually everybody else who play against the Jazz have such a hard time because obviously this also he doesn't always intimidate players. Like players like, oh, it's Rudy Gobert, but he usually swat the shit out of people's shots still.
Yeah,
like even though people might not be scared of him, he heavily impacts them. Like I was watching like the Clippers play against him, and like I could just see guys second guessing the closer they got to the rim. Gobert was in. Like he'll make some guys
about their work.
So I think he deserves. I think it's unfair because not a lot of centers in the league can guard the perimeter. So I ain't gonna try to hold that against him. So if he wins it,
I'm talking about the post.
Yeah,
I'm talking about the post. I think you got two jobs. Rim and the post.
He's already won it twice, and then he looks mortal when the postseason come. I think people will give it to Ben Simmons. He's been doing a phenomenal job on the perimeter, locking up people. He did a great job on Doncic twice. Doncic in jail twice this year in both their matchups. I think he'll get it. Maybe if not either one of them, Miles Turner.
Hey man, salute to Miles Turner.
I thought Embiid was pretty high on the list too. If I'm not mistaken.
The last time I saw Defensive Player of the Year ladder, it was Ben first. I want to say Rudy was second. I want to say Miles Turner was third. Miles Turner had been number one for a long time. He was leading the league.
He got dropped.
Yeah, he dropped. So it was Ben, Rudy Gobert, Miles Turner, LeBron James, Jamal Murray.
Yeah.
Oh wait, who?
Yeah.
When NBA released their Defensive Player of the Year ladder, it was those five.
The point guard for the Denver Nuggets.
Yes, and then Jamal Murray tweeted, "That's right, I play defense," and then with a padlock emoji.
Oh, copyright infringement. First off,
how many points he averaged? 18. Like I told y'all he was gonna do. Man.
Yeah, you did.
Next subject.
Oh boy. Sorry,
But yeah, dark horse candidate, Mikal Bridges.
he's been great, but he's not going to get it. He don't have the narrative or the people chanting.
Wait. Not yet.
Not yet. You always have to have your defensive player of the year caliber season, and then you in the running for it the next season. You can't.
No. You're in the running for like for the next 4 years.
No, but I'm saying like before you get mentioned, you have to have a defensive player of the year level year, and then you finally get mentioned the year after. So like this is his. So his name should be getting thrown in the pool next year.
Before we move on from this, is Patrick Beverly not a good defender anymore? I feel like niggas been disrespecting Patrick Beverly. I don't know if it's because he's been hurt, but like niggas been like it's his fault because he is such the troll that he is, and he's the person that's annoying and no one likes him. Yeah. But now I feel like his play has fallen off, and but now I feel like his play has fallen off.
His mama hate him, the dad hate him. Yeah.
But yeah, his play is falling off now, and it's like, he's validating. And you know what? Russell Westbrook said something a while ago, like, y'all let Patrick Beverly fool y'all. He's just out there running around. Like, is this season, is he starting to become less of a defender, or am I tripping?
Nah, he's
old, man. He's old. He's like 30. How old is Patrick?
Yeah, he getting up there in age.
He's still well above an average defender. Like, he's still very good at his.
He did a good job on Dame. He did a good job on Donovan Mitchell twice.
Yeah, he's done a great job.
It's kind of like when Tony Allen was going downhill. And he was telling everybody, I'm all defense team. You know what I'm saying? But he wasn't all defense team that year. The year he said that. I think it's kind of like that.
I ain't gonna stunt. Like, Patrick Beverly has been good enough this season to be second team. Last year when he made the team and everybody was like mad, I was like, he was pretty good. He shouldn't have been there, but like he's still like an above average guard defender. It's just like last year, a lot of times Doc would have him guarding small forwards, like instead of having Kawhi and PG on it, like
as if Kawhi and Paul George on the team.
They're like. Go guard them, Patrick Beverly, and he did that even like before they got there, like in the series against the Warriors. He was
guarding KD.
He was guarding KD. Like they did that to him a lot. And this year he's like been mostly on just guards, and he's been doing a phenomenal job. He's still really good. It's just people don't like him, so they just talk bad about him. Same thing like I was telling Merrill. Like Merrill said, Patrick Beverly had no skill. I'm like, he been shooting 40% from three for like 3 seasons in a row.
We not trying to hit this shit.
No, that's my point.
Hey, Jordan, I tell you this all the time. If Pat Bell played with LeBron, he would be one of the most beloved players in the league. I'm telling you.
It's racism, Corey, because if Patrick Beverly was white and he was shooting 40% from the field, they call him.
Oh my God. He's a sniper. Sneaky athleticism.
I'm going to tell me what.
Let 40% from the 3 and put clamps on everybody.
Hey man,
I tell you,
give me TJ McConnell any day.
Man, hey Cam. Last year I saw everybody on Twitter hate Patrick Beverly and hype up Alex Caruso. You can call it what you want, but I know what it is. I know what it is.
On national TV, and he averages 5 points.
Alex Caruso had more All-Star votes than De'Aaron Fox.
That's crazy.
Y'all know what it is.
Yes. Talking about the white elephant in the room.
I'll just never forget that nigga. I'll just never forget that nigga Patrick Beverly going up the steps and saying, "This is our town for the next 5 years." And saying, "Nigga,
so surprisingly,
but here's the defense, Steph 31.
So surprisingly, I didn't know this, but Steph and like Curry are like best friends. Like they like were hanging out together when they was in like high school. Like they used to go like basketball camps and be roommates together and all that kind of stuff. So like that's just like
that was a joke.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's best friend. That's best friend banter between the two. I didn't know that until like I saw until like Patrick Beverly got on our team and like him and Steph be hanging out after the game, before the game. I'm like, oh, these niggas, that's cool. But moving on to the next topic, MVP. Who do you guys got winning the award?
Gotta go Embiid if they stay at the top of the East. Gotta go Embiid.
The man who I picked to win it last year, but he was wilding.
Yeah, I was about to say I don't want to validate Cord. by saying Embiid, but
Good for Donovan Mitchell.
You know what time it is,
Rudy.
LeBron. You know it's his time.
I'm just
Talking about Donovan Mitchell, the man who had 30 points off 34 shots.
Yeah,
that sounds horrible.
that does.
That sounds disgusting. This is my thing. I think Joel Embiid looks like he's getting closer with the narrative, but I'm just so tired of like everybody getting it over LeBron year after year after year. It's so crazy.
Come on now, Cam.
Now come on, like okay. Now peep this. The only way this works is if while Anthony Davis is out, the team is actually getting better because like as we've seen since Anthony Davis has been out. Team has like fallen off tremendously.
I'm gonna say this. We say this every year about the LeBron team, and then when they lose in the playoffs, don't nobody mention it. No offense, but all offense.
Wait. What do you mean? What do you mean?
And it's been a hot second.
Whenever LeBron is on the team and their star player gets hurt or something like that happens, they look better without them. We don't need so and so. Then when the playoffs come and everything starts going wrong and they happen to lose, the narrative goes from LeBron makes a team better, less is more to he need more help. This is everyone else's fault.
Help.
I'm gonna say this. It's more so like let's go back. Let's track it. So last year, best record in the East, but there was a team in the. It was the best team in the West, but it was a team in the East with a better record with another guy with almost if comparable, if not better numbers.
Better numbers. You're gonna say it.
And he was a way better defender than LeBron last year. So it's like, what's the narrative to get him that award over the other guy? And then the year before that, hurt. The year before that, he was like the 4th seed in the East or something like that. He was like the Cavs were a low seed in his last year with the Cavs.
Yeah. Well, no, the last couple of years have been arguable. This year. It's gonna be kind of, I won't say blasphemous, quote unquote. That's not the right thing to say. But like, first of all, the Lakers are probably gonna finish with a better record than the 76ers, or it's gonna be very close.
Nah.
They got a better record now.
Yeah,
they do.
Yeah, for how long?
I'm sure they do.
You're right. Because I remember when the Suns were like the 4th seed, and they was like, if the Suns
we would have been the 1 seed in the East.
They'd be the number 1 seed.
Yeah. But like, I mean, and then on top of that, you gotta look at nightly competition, all this other stuff. I mean, granted, I don't have a problem with Embiid getting it. I think everybody deserves to get an MVP. But then we're gonna get to the playoffs. Embiid gonna get put out first or second round.
Nah, I don't think so.
But that's not what the
run up on the Nets court. That's their ass. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
But that's
and Cole knows it. But you're right. I know where you're going with this. I know where you're going with this. It's a regular season award. So yeah, I understand. LeBron is not the MVP.
But like I said, like LeBron just don't really have I feel like he had the narrative last year, and I thought he came dangerously close to getting the award. But this year, it's like he's currently the 3rd seed in the West. There's a team that's like far better than every team in the league in the West. Then there's the Suns, who've now overtaken the Lakers. The fact that he lost his 2nd best player, and they've looked like ass without that other player. So it's like, how do you justify him being an MVP when he can't win games without that guy? So
he literally isn't. Yeah.
You know, a lot of people last year were saying that maybe AD was MVP because he had the best stats in every major category. And it's like, nah, LeBron still is. So now he's not playing with that guy, and they're losing. So it's not the best.
Yeah, it looks a little fishy. Gotta say that. Gotta say that.
But I do agree, like, it's a good chance that Lakers do finish with a better record than the Embiid, but the Embiid will end up having the numbers. He'll end up having the best record in the East. That's the narrative going for him. If he keeps it, if he becomes the 2nd seed, then they might shift the shit to Harden or Durant. To be real with you, I ain't gonna lie to you.
Or they might you gotta think about this. You gotta think about this, man. Embiid could be the first center to win an MVP in years.
That's what I was saying, Corey. The narrative, like this.
You mean
the league needs this?
You mean since Giannis?
I almost said something. Hey, we don't claim him.
Y'all seen somebody call Giannis Greek cheeks, and that shit had me rough.
They call what?
Greek cheeks.
Greek cheeks.
That's a new one there.
All right.
But
who are y'all finals matchups? Who y'all picking to be in the finals?
I want Clipper Sixers, man. I'm speaking into existence.
You better keep speaking. That's all.
You better keep speaking that shit.
Hey, man, my dream is for the Clippers to win the championship over Doc Rivers' dead body. That's what I need. It's facts.
What about you, Cam? Who you picking?
I got Lakers Nets in the finals. I think the Nets are gonna be unbeatable. We had a conversation last week. Are they a lock? I think they're as close as it gets to a lock. So I got the Nets coming out of the East easily. And if AD comes back healthy, which I think he will, and I think LeBron's gonna make him push through the pain or whatever is going on, I think the Lakers. I think the Lakers end up making it out of this way.
I'll tell you, that's a scary injury that he has.
Yeah, without a doubt.
So hopefully he comes back 100% and without a hitch. I have Lakers being come out the West, and I have the Nets coming out of the East. So I got Lakers, Nets. That's who I got picked for the finals.
Oh, also, worst case scenario, Jazz Bucks.
That is the absolute worst case scenario.
I was at work talking about this. I was like, hey, that'd be the nastiest finals ever.
That might be the end of the NBA, fam. I ain't gonna lie to you. That might be
when the Nets played against the Spurs back in like the early 2000s. Yeah, y'all remember that finals, do y'all?
Donovan Mitchell versus Chris Middleton.
Rudy
Gobert versus Brook Lopez.
The NBA gonna have a hard time pushing that one.
Bro, there's no way Adam Silver would go down there and referee the game himself.
Twitter would be hilarious for that finals.
Now I'm gonna tell you what, I'll tell you what, every Lakers / LeBron fan gonna be like, basketball still on? If the Jazz still playing, everybody gonna pretend like basketball just ended after they lost, and that
I ain't gonna lie.
That's not gonna happen.
If that happens, let's just take a month off, y'all. Let's just take a month off.
Don't even do the podcast.
The Bucks they really are cheeks. They can't beat anybody right now, so shit. I doubt that's gonna happen.
I don't like the roster is worse than it was last year. They got the same coach, and the same coach gonna employ the same tactics with a worse roster. Yeah, I don't believe in them.
You know what, Jordan? I remember we had the conversation of whether the roster was better or worse last year, and I was like, "Are they worse?" And then I watched them play. The Grizzlies, man, that's not a good team, man. That
I'm telling you,
literally, there is no one to take a clutch shot but Chris Middleton, and it's bad.
Well, no, Drew Holiday hit a clutch. He hit a shot in the clutch, but Drew Holiday
he hit the shot that won the game. But like, I don't want to count on Drew Holiday at the end of the game.
I say this. I think that
you don't want to count on Eric Bledsoe.
Yeah, true. I think I think the Bucks are very close to realizing that Giannis is a center, and I think the sooner they realize that, the better they'll be off. But I'll say this, like that's, and also the same thing I said about the Bucks. That's gonna be the same problem with the Sixers too. They don't who will take a last shot for them in games. Granted, Embiid did it the other night when he took a step back three to tie the game, and then to ultimately go on and beat the Jazz. But like, realistically though, is that who y'all believe can do that throughout the entire playoffs?
But honestly, bro, it's not that many people in the league that's just clutch, that just make shots. Like, I think that's the most rarest thing. I think that's more rare than anything. It's people who can make those shots. You like Drew Holiday. I feel like he's a solid player, and Kansas, I don't feel comfortable with him making that shot. Like, other than Dame, like the obvious choice is Dame and apparently Jamal Murray for some odd reason.
Yeah,
and Luka and them boys. Probably like 10 people just okay with, and 3 of them on the same team. With Harden,
well, not so much Harden, but KD.
Don't do that. I'm
gonna be real with y'all. As long as I've watched Harden, I rarely see that nigga make like clutch, like buckets in like that minute to the game almost over range.
Like Clippers.
Man, I really don't remember that, Core. I really don't.
Hey man, him and Kyrie made it happen.
And you talking about this year in the Nets? Yeah, he did. But like before that, it was I don't know about that. But yeah, Kyrie and KD definitely though. Oh yeah, and Curry get the job done too a lot. So we're gonna do one more topic because we've been here a while. We're going to do the Blake Griffin buyout, and Blake Griffin gave back $13 million of his $75 million that was left on his contract.
That's about what he worth.
Nah. Cam. And so he gave that money back to the Pistons, so he became an unrestricted free agent. Blake Griffin was averaging 12 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and shooting 36% from the field, 31% from 3, 71% from the free throw line. And you think to yourself, he must have been playing like
That boy
20
feeling
minutes.
dangerous.
Yeah, you must think. and you probably sat there and thought to yourself, he must have been playing like 20 minutes a game. He was playing 32 minutes a game.
Really?
Yes, he's been playing 32 minutes a game with these stats. So yeah, he became an unrestricted free agent. He was the front runners for the sign him were like the Heat, the Nets, I think the Lakers, and then I forgot who the fourth team was. And then Sham said that he's been informed that he believes that Blake Griffin will sign with the Nets. So it's all but foregone. Guys, is Blake Griffin is going to be a productive you guys think he's still a productive player? Or I think he's done? And which team would you have liked to have seen him go to?
He doesn't dunk anymore. Like, did y'all see that clip? One of the announcers, he was playing the Heat, and they were just like on his ass. And it was like, yeah, man, like a year ago or a year and a half ago, man, he would have taken TJ McConnell to the rim and dunked on him. And I was like, this nigga just not. I don't know, bro. But I don't know how much he improves the Nets, to be honest with you, Jordan. I'm gonna be completely honest.
I don't know how real this stat is, but I saw a stat that said that Draymond Green has had more dunks this season than Blake Griffin.
Apparently, Blake Griffin hasn't dunked since 2019, according to.
It's been a minute.
I was about to say, Jordan, you reading that stat line from Blake Griffin really makes me think about how much Draymond Green has ingratiated himself in Golden State Warriors culture. Because that nigga ain't even doing that. He still got a job. It's also funny because just the concept of a buyout is like, we will pay you to just not be here anymore.
No. And I'm gonna say this. Now I could be wrong, but I'm of the belief that he did this to leave. Because remember, last year in the beginning of this season, he wanted a buyout, and they was like, "Fam, ain't no way we buying you out." Then when this season started, he just started looking crazy, and now they bought him out.
He was like, "No, y'all gonna buy me out."
That nigga saw James Harden.
There's no way possible for him to be that ass purposefully. Like,
and also, we gotta keep in mind, this is a roster full of centers and non-shooting point guards. So really, all he was doing was just shooting.
Yeah,
what I'm saying? He was just taking like hell. I don't know, Corey. I think that nigga just terrible now.
No, I'm saying like it wasn't no shoot. Like it ain't that many shooters on the team. It was him, Derrick Rose, Jeremy Grant, one of the Plumleys, I don't remember which one, and then Ricky point guard that got hurt.
I'm gonna tell you that Grant ain't let that affect his play.
Who?
I promise you.
Jeremiah Grant.
Jeremy Grant. Hey, salute to Jeremy Grant. I told y'all he was gonna be great.
I'm on that he's doing this on purpose train. That nigga had James Harden. Man.
So
and I don't know.
Realistic stats with the Nets for Blake. Realistic stats.
Well,
so he is going to the Nets.
Well, that's what Sham said. It hasn't been like he hasn't inked the contract.
Well, no, you don't even have to be the Nets. Let's just say the next team he goes to. What are realistic stats that you guys in your heart of hearts believe Blake Griffin can give me this, and this on this percentage?
Hey man, I'm speaking to existence. He going back to 18-5-5 at the least.
I was thinking
that's best case scenario.
I got $100. Court, I got $100 right now. I got $100 right now, and Blake Griffin will never touch 18-5-5 the rest of his career.
Hey man, it's a recession. I ain't got
it. I was thinking 15, 7, and 4.
So just for reference, Blake Griffin played 18 games last year before getting hurt, and he was averaging 16, 5, and 3. 16, 5, and 3. And he was shooting 30, and he was shooting 35% from the field in those 18 games.
How did he shoot 35% from the field?
Because I'm telling y'all, like most of these shots with jump shots.
Let me break it down for you, Cam. When you shoot nothing but jump shots and you have a hitch in your jump shot, you're going to shoot 35% from the field. Like that's just what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen to you.
Yeah,
simple as that.
Yeah, he takes 6 threes a game.
They could let me go play for that.
I can give you, hey man, you give me 18 shots and all I gotta do is give you 14 points. I think I can do that in the NBA. I think I can just jack up 18 shots and give you 14 points.
Man.
But all right.
But Jordan, to get back with you, Interestingly enough, if team morale, and stuff and all other stuff aside, I actually think he would be a good fit with the Suns. But it would never happen.
That's what I was about to say.
I do like that if he came and played off the bench with and played kind of like with Dario Saric. Actually, you know what? Dario Saric and Blake Griffin front court off the bench. Defensively.
And the thing is, we don't really have a quote unquote starting power forward. Like, we shift games. Sometimes it's Saric, sometimes it's Kaminsky, sometimes it's Cam Johnson. Like, so we don't really have. You slot him in right there, and he just plays if he were to just play his role, he's gonna get a lot of open shots. He's gonna get a lot of cuts to the basket. Monty Williams coach him up. Like, it would be a good scenario for him, but that would never happen.
I don't think he wants to go to another small market, man. Cam, I'm gonna be honest with you. I wouldn't call Phoenix a small market, but not. I think he wants to be in like a LA or a Miami or
New York.
A guaranteed shot at a ring. That's why the Nets are the front runners for him.
Yeah.
This ring chasing getting out of hand.
But what has Paul Millsap been doing the last? I feel like that's around. Was realistically, I feel like Blake Griffin can do whatever Paul Millsap's been doing the Nuggets.
Paul Millsap, has he even been playing?
He was hurt for a while.
Yeah, he getting the bag though. He getting the bag.
Let me check and see what his stats are. But yeah, I think it'd been good. Also, I don't think he would play for the Suns because Chris Paul there, even though they've made up and they seem to reconciled. I don't think Blake would want to risk playing with Chris Paul again and ruin it.
He gonna have to risk playing with DeAndre if you go to Brooklyn.
Especially a worse version of himself.
Yeah, so
especially a worse version of Blake Griffin. He's a worse version of what he was back then.
You know what I'm saying? Paul Millsap right now is averaging 10, 5, and 2. And
that sounds about right.
And he's shooting 52% from the field, 41% from 3.
That's funny, bro.
That is solid. That sounds
that's worse than what he was doing on the Pistons.
No, that's way better. Because that means he's taking less shots, which is making his percentage go up.
Yeah.
Right or wrong, Jordan? Is that not what he's doing?
Yeah.
He's shooting 50 and 40.
Yeah, he's shooting 50 and 40. So that's if Blake gets back to 50 and 40 and all he does is average 10, then that's good production.
That's good production.
Especially if you're gonna be passing and creating opportunities for others, that'd be great if he did that. Now that's not returning to form, but at least showing that he's a serviceable player at least. Also, just because DeLon mentioned it earlier, he said, "Wow, those sound like Draymond Green numbers, except a little bit better." Draymond Green is currently averaging 6, 8, and 6.
That's hilarious.
Single triple, and he's shooting 39% from the field, 23% from 3, and 71% from free throw line.
Draymond Green, just the other day, Blake Griffin could never in his life. The rest of his career, 19 assists.
Draymond Green just the coach at this point. That man is the on-court coach.
I'll give him this. He like him and Steph. That like their 2-man game has been. If you you just sit and watch a Warriors game, it's amazing to watch.
It is.
He coaches up James Wiseman. James Wiseman's gonna be great in this league. I hard down with that. It's gonna be a lot because of Draymond Green. I really believe that.
They should let Draymond coach the All-Star team. They already let him in the booth.
I was almost say this though. I just really hate the fact that people talking down on Wiseman because LaMelo looked good, and I really don't think that's fair to him.
No, because because the thing is, like, bigs are always going to take a year or two, unless you're like transcendent bigs. They're always going to take a year or two to be what they're going to be. So it's like, Wiseman was never going to be like a de facto. Like, he should have been number 1 pick in his first year. Well, 2 years from now or a year from now, we'll know what the truth is. I say this much: he looked better than Bagley ever did.
Well, and it's so crazy because you see Wiseman now, and you see like Aiden now, and just because the guards in their class were so good, they'll never get the recognition that they truly deserve. Like Luka and Trey are so ridiculous. So you see those, you see what Aiden is doing, you're like, oh, he's decent. And just like, I don't know how good Anthony Edwards is gonna be, but then you see LaMelo Ball doing what he's doing. It's like James Wiseman, probably gonna average a double for his career, maybe like 18-10 or something like that. And it's gonna be a great career, but it's just gonna be dwarfed because you had a player that could affect the game so much more. I
would say this, unless Wiseman really turned it around, which he ain't really turn around. Unless he just grows into what a number 1 caliber player. I don't think a big man will ever go number 1 again. because you look at what they've done. You look at they took we're gonna take Wiseman over LaMelo. Now LaMelo looking like he'll end up being the better player between the two. You look at you look at Ayton getting taken over like Doncic, and then Doncic looking like a prolific, like one of the best players ever. And then you look at they took the same year took like Bagley and stuff over him too. And it's like like I think big man, I think centers are gonna stop being like the number one pick. It's probably be like a top 3 pick, like they can maybe second or third. But if there's like a really, really good wing or point guard, I think they're gonna go always before centers going forward.
Not if Embiid wins MVP though.
That's maybe
gonna change the game.
Him and Joker, it's on their shoulders. Because it's a copycat league. Oh yeah, Cat. It's a copycat league. Whoever wins the title, that's who team's gonna
I think the NBA official, GMs love the word potential, and every big 7'1" has a little bit of a jumper and can sometimes block a shot and can sometimes dribble. They love that every single time over a 6'2" guard who can dribble, shoot, and do all this other stuff.
That's what I'm saying. Like they fallen into that trap 3 drafts in a row, and there's been like a guard or like a wing behind those centers that have been like substantially better than those centers. And that's why I said eventually they're gonna be like, do we run the risk of potentially choosing this big over somebody who might end up being Trae Young, Luka Doncic, LaMelo Ball good?
I think the real lesson there isn't like wings versus big. I think it's best fit versus best available. Yeah. And I think they need to get back to just taking best available because it's working out perfectly for the Hornets.
The
Mavericks.
I wouldn't say that because I feel like
that's what the Warriors
Hornets
did.
I think they needed a guard regardless. You know what I'm saying? If they had the second pick, I feel like they still take LaMelo Ball this year.
Wait, you think they needed a guard? Why you say that? They had Graham and Terry Rozier.
Because they really wanted Wiseman.
I'm not talking about the Hornets. Not like the Hornets picking. Like if the Hornets moved up, they would have still got LaMelo. I think they took the best available, and it was the best fit. Yeah. I'm talking about the Timberwolves and the Warriors. Probably should have just went best available.
Also, I think they needed another guard because I knew that Graham wasn't really that nigga. I was trying to tell you. Like I was like all of his shots are 3-point attempts, and he don't finish at the rim. He don't shoot mid range. He literally just shoots. That's it. I'm like, yeah, that's not something sustainable unless you learn how to do other things on the court. And we've seen that this year. Teams know who he is, and they're closing down. They taking away a 3-point shot, and he ain't able to beat them anywhere else.
And he's been hurt too. He's been hurt.
That's true.
Yeah. I got to watching tape, man.
Yes, sir. But all right, that's all I got. You guys have any closing thoughts?
Get well soon, book. Get well soon.
Yeah, get well soon, book. Hey, shouts out to Drake. I wasn't here for that part of the conversation. Besides, when Cord said what he said, but I really enjoyed that tape. So, shouts out to that boy, and I'm ready for that album.
That's facts.
All right.
And Luka Doncic the ops.
All right.
Denzel Curry put out a new album.
He did.
With Kenny Beats.
No, I'm good.
If you look at the track listing, the features are amazing. It's an album full of features. There's Benny on there. There's a Joey Badass verse on there. Getting through the beats to get to the guest verse, I could do it. I heard the first 20 seconds of Benny. I'm like, had to stop.
Hey, I'm
the beats are that bad.
Curry. I love Kenny Beats. I hate them together.
They're Denzel Curry.
First unlocked, I did not like.
And like, I don't want to hear Benny. I don't want to hear Joey Badass screaming to keep up with a Denzel Curry song.
Yeah.
I didn't
the
like
idea was great.
I didn't like that last beat tape / album they made last time. So yeah,
every time they drop an unlock, I be mad, and he just keep doing it.
All right. So thank you all for tuning into the episode of Papa the Man Podcast. Tune in next week for episode your favorite podcast. See you then.